That's a bad feeling, y'all. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Josh here with Josh's Lawn and Landscape. So, thank y'all for taking the time to tune in to the channel today. And I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel and commented on the videos. As always, let y'all know that I appreciate all the support. I'm going to start out with one quick shout out at the very beginning here to Wild Bill over at Wild Bill's Lawn Care. Recent video, he gave me a little shout out there. So got a sky shot in his video, so got to enjoy that for a quick second. I hadn't had one of those in a while. And so if y'all haven't yet, checked his channel out. Again, that's Wild Bill's Lawn Care. So shout out to you there, Wild Bill. He's got his new Husqvarna riding mower, and did a video with it today, and it's laying down a pretty nice cut in my opinion. So he was knocking it out. And let's see, I'm gonna try to do I guess the video is gonna be I got one small yard to do today that I didn't get to yesterday because I went and did the estimate. Didn't have anything on the schedule for today. The yard's not too far from the house, so I figured I would just leave the trailer hooked up, try to do it today and get that knocked out. And I also want to do a quick little lawn care story, and another shout out to Jason and Haley over at American Lawn Specialist. He just did a video on his 100-hour review. Although both the mowers had a little more than that on them, but just did a 100-hour review on both of his Bobcat ZS 4000, I believe it is, stand-on mowers. Real nice machines. Got the Airfx deck on them. I think it's FT 730 Kawasaki engines. And they out there laying it down. So shout out to those guys and gal over there, turning in some good work. So y'all keep it up over there. But at one part of the video, he was talking about an incident where I think with the Bobcat, where he was going along around by some trees and was just tooling along in a hurry and hit a root that bent one of the baffles under the deck. And I think he said when the blade hit the root, it knocked a big chunk out of the root itself. I believe he said it shut the mower off. And he was discussing his previous mowers. He had owned John Deere's before. I think he told me in a previous comment that he had owned a Z930. I believe that's correct. Jason, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But and I know to each their own. These mowers, everybody has different luck with them. But he felt like with his experience with Deere, that had he had the same incident with his John Deere mower, that he would have destroyed a spindle. So I commented and just said, hey, yeah, I got a story to share about that incident where I hit something and it caused the mower to shut off. I have over 2,000 hours on John Deere Z-Track mowers. This is the commercial grade. This isn't counting the Easy Track, the Z445 I've had, the hours that I've got on the X590 or on the Quick Track. None of those, just the Z-Track mowers. I've got, well, right at 2,000 hours on those mowers. I've had one spindle go bad. It had almost 1,300 hours on it. And I did a previous video on the spindle replacement and actually discussed what it was doing in a yard that it started in. So I don't know if I'll be able to put the link in the description, but if not, I think I talked about spindle replacement. So right where that video is, y'all can check that out. But so like I said, no knock on anybody. I know everybody's experience with different brands is different. To each their own. And I think that his opinion on those Bobcats, from what I've seen of them so far, I think it is a solid opinion on it. I would agree that they cut well and they look like they're good solid machines. So I have not demoed one, just from what I've seen really on his channel. It's a nice machine, so can't speak personally to those machines like he can, but with my experience with the John Deere, I had a Z910A. That's a whole nother story. Some of y'all may have heard the previous experience with that one and why I don't have it now. I have the Z920M, which is the one that I replaced spindles on. And like I said, I only had one that was going bad, was just making noise, wore out. I think at 1,288 hours, I believe, if I recall correctly. So, but I overdo it sometimes. And since the one went out, I went on ahead and replaced all 3 of them. I still have the other 2 in case of an emergency and then something happens to one of the new ones. But I digress. Back to my point about what he was saying as far as what he thought would happen in the particular incident that he had with the Bobcat, had it been his John Deere. Or I don't know which particular John Deere he was talking about. They've had a couple of them. So, but to get to my story, now that I've gone all over the map, is I had a customer's yard that I mowed, and they had a separate area outside of the fence that had a driveway through there for a rental property that the lady owned. And they had a muscadine vine, or muscadine vines right next to that driveway on a stretch, and I simply just kind of mowed right around them. Nothing too crazy. And one time I was on this property and was kind of getting in a hurry, just trying to get a good start to the day. I believe it was actually my first property on a Saturday. And if any of you know anything about muscadines, if somebody has them in their yard, muscadine vines, they have a pole and wires that they use to tie down for the vines to hang on, so they don't just run across the ground and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a tie down wire. So I was mowing in that particular property, and I got the left side of the deck, was getting right up next to the edge and where the vines were kind of touching the ground. And apparently I got a little too close up into that edge, and the deck, or the front corner of the deck, caught the down wire or guide wire that goes down from the top of the post down to the ground. And it has about a 16 or 18 inch metal stub or rod that the wire is tied to, that's driven down in the ground to keep tension on that wire. Well, when the corner of the deck caught that guide wire, it twisted, pulled the mower in just a hair, and when it did, the blade caught that rod, snatched it out of the ground. It wrapped the rod up underneath the deck, and the wire wrapped around the blade on that spindle and shut the mower down completely. It was full throttle, blades running. I obviously wasn't going wide open in a straight line, probably about half as far as speed, but it was at full throttle with the blades on, running full tilt, as they would say, and just completely shut the mower off. Once I got under there, I saw what it was. It took me a couple of minutes to unwrap the rod and wire from underneath the mower deck. Back the mower up over into an open space. The mower started right back up, no problems. And I started the blades up. No excess vibration, no shaking, no weird noises, everything in perfect working order. And I always like to joke that I guess I got the greatest Z920M that they ever built. This thing has been a tank. It's been basically bulletproof. The PTO clutch on it the original one lasted over 1,000 hours, almost 1,100, almost 1,300 hours out of the spindles, which, like I said, only one of those was going bad. And so just to my point is, everybody's experiences are different, and but I've had good luck so far with mine, thankfully, despite what's going on this year, mainly with the quick track. But like I said, that's just kind of wanted to tell that story, what my experiences was, since he brought that up in a video. And so like I said, I've had a really good experience, and I know some of y'all out there. I know David, shout out to David over at Hazardra Outdoors. He has not had the best relationship or experience with John Deere. I think mainly from a cost standpoint, which that varies based on the region, but also with the issues he had with the 915E mower that he had. Now he's got the Z950M, and I would tend to agree with him with regards to cost versus features, I guess would be the way to put it. Because he was discussing what he's going to be paid out the door, financing and everything, tax, interest, all that good stuff for that Z950. Which I believe he said was $18,000 or $19,000. So now, my one knock on John Deere, while we're on that subject, and y'all have heard me discuss this before, I think is a lack of engine options without having to spend, say, a massive amount of money. Like most of the mowers have 1 or 2 engine options, and that's it. And you have to step up a right good bit. This, for instance, you cannot get 30 or more horsepower out of a John Deere Z-Track mower without going all the way up to a 960. A Z960, because I think the biggest thing they offer in a Z950 is a 27, maybe a 29. I think it's a 27 though. But without looking at it, I could not say 100%, but I'm pretty sure. But the Z960, you can get the 31 horsepower Kawasaki, which is the FX921. And then after that, you obviously have your 970, and then you get into the 2 big diesels, which are your 994 and your 997s. So basically, almost your top tier mower you have to get to a 30 horsepower engine, which a lot of them are like that. But you also have instances where and I know a lot of these are new instances But a lot of the other manufacturers are adding engine options in recent years for these mowers to give people more to choose from. For instance, the Skag V-Ride 2 is a prime example. It was very similar to the scenario for a while with the John Deere Quick Track. That you basically had two engine options on, say, the 52 inch or the 48 inch until within the last recent couple of years, I believe. And y'all correct me on this if I'm wrong. I've seen this information before, but it's been a little while since I've actually studied all of it. But I think it's been within the last 2 years, maybe 3 at the most, that Skag introduced the 37 Vanguard option on the 52 V-Ride 2. So y'all have heard my thoughts on the whole John Deere horsepower and options stuff before. Again, my Z-Track has been awesome. I do feel being further into my lawn care career now and having cut grass for a while, I have felt for a couple of years that I think some of the machines are underpowered. And I say underpowered in the simple fact of you just don't have that one extra option for those mowers, instead of having, because you've got a Z915, you've got a Z920, you've got a Z930, a Z950, a Z960, a Z970. So you got 6 versions of the Z-Track, which is, to my knowledge, the same frame. Maybe a few differences based on the size of the deck and a couple of things, but essentially you have 6 versions of a mower that has the same platform. Whereas you've got certain companies like, I don't know, Bad Boy, or even Skag, in their commercial line. Each mower, I believe, is on a different frame. I think the Tiger Cat 2, the Cheetah, and the Turf Tiger are all different frame setups with multiple options available for each one. And I think it should be something a little similar to, again, this is all just my opinion, of the series, not necessarily the model, the series, which is your E's, your M's, and your R's. I think should dictate the options that you have. Obviously, which they do on a lot of things, like your electric deck lift, and whether you can get a rear discharge deck and certain things that come on it standard, stuff like that. But as far as, and it does somewhat affect the engine option, I guess, but I think that's more based on the model, like the 920 versus the 950, not necessarily an M versus an R. Whereas, because they don't even make a Z920R, I don't think. I think it's just a Z920M. The 915 and the 920 come in that one model. You have a Z915E and you have a Z920M. You don't have like a 950. I know the 950 and the 960 have, I believe, an M and an R. So there's more than one series in those. Or yeah, I would say series. Railroad tracks. So, I think maybe it's just a simplification thing with them rather than having all of that access. I don't know. But I think it's something that maybe they could adjust a little bit. I think it would help them compete a little better. I know John Deere is a very popular brand. Like I say, I've always run John Deere. I've always had good luck with them. I've had my struggles this year, but I will still say that John Deere does make a quality machine. They have their issues like everybody else. I've even got the hat on today. So, but those are just some thoughts on it without getting into a 45-minute discussion, because I'm already around 20 minutes, I believe, or something like that. I don't know. Can't see my timer on my phone while I'm driving. I'm probably around 20 minutes by now talking about this stuff and my little story there. So I'll try to get a little footage here. I'm almost to this little small yard. Most of y'all have seen it. If I don't get any footage, then I guess it'll just be another video of me running my mouth, which I like to do. For those of you who are new to the channel and may not know that yet, but I know, shout out to Mr. Gerald. I know Mr. Gerald knows that. And but just offer my thoughts and opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all have run John Deere for any length of time, if you agree or disagree with anything I've said about them, and yeah, let me know your thoughts. Leave them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If so, check out some of the other ones. And if you feel like hitting that subscribe button, go right ahead. You're more than welcome. We'll get out and get set up here and see if maybe I can get some footage, and we'll see where it goes. this. I'm gonna try to zoom in and you tell me. Look at there. You got it. Yellow jackets. Nest in the ground. Luckily I got away from them. But can't do nothing else in the back. I can try to go around to the other side. To spread a little bit of this clippings out on this part. I can do a lot of it with the blower, but it's on 2.5. But therein lies my problem, right above my finger, right there, past that thick grass. There's a yellow jacket nest in the ground, and they are ticked. Of course, I would be too if somebody cut the top off my house. Thankfully, Lord's watching out for me, as He always does. And I did not get stung. So I did have one or two kind of chase me away for a minute. I just had to hit the back button and come this way. That's all I'm going to get in this yard. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the footage. I'm going to talk to the homeowner about this situation over here, because I'm not going to get lit up by yellow jackets trying to get this last little bit. So they can get them treated. Stick around. That's a bad feeling, y'all. They almost got me. But I am done with that one. I actually found, believe it or not, both entrances, because there's always two. Remember that. There's always at least two. Oh, got a little something on my screen there. And luckily enough, they had calmed down just enough that I took some marking paint and just kind of snuck in there real quick and just put a little spray on the ground at where those two places is at. And I let the homeowner know, because she's got two little dogs, did not want her taking them out back. She said she normally doesn't, but just in case. Boy, every little moth or gnat that flew by my head in the last 15 minutes had me on edge. whew, they chased the mower a good 20 feet away, which is the point at which I was backing up and just kind of bailed out and left the mower running. But yeah, so survived that one. I hope you enjoyed the real-time footage, and let me know your thoughts on the earlier part of the video. It is 7:20, so not too bad. Like I said, I got off again a little later today. We actually had a bus get stuck, had to go pull it out. So, but hopefully, like I said, y'all enjoyed what real-time footage I did get. There's a little bit of excitement there, and so I'm gonna hop on the road here. And Mr. Gerald, I've already got my seatbelt on. So I got body armor. So got that one knocked out, so I'm technically on schedule at the moment, which is a good thing. But another eventful year, I reckon, or another event in an eventful year. I can't remember, some of you may can. I don't know if it was earlier this year or it may have been the latter part of last year. That's the second time in the last, say, season and a half, I could say, that I have nearly been eaten up by yellow jackets. The other time was at one of my other properties, where it was on the actually up in the ceiling on the front porch, and I was knocking some weeds down that had grown up into brick steps, and a couple of them buzzed by me, and that's, you know, I kind of looked up and I'm staring at a big old wad of them. So amazingly enough, thankfully enough, praise the Lord for it, neither instance did I get stung even once. So very, very thankful for that, because those can turn really bad situations really quick. And even back there, when I went to get back on the mower after a couple of minutes, there was actually one sitting on the throttle handle when I got on the mower to move it. So they were kind of lingering around for a minute. But some guys doing some road work on the side of the road. But very eventful evening. Par for the course, I guess you could say. But just want to say once again, thank y'all for watching. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel and commented and liked the videos. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this one. And once again, check out all those channels that I was giving a shout out to earlier in the video. Wild Bill, Mr. Gerald over at Clean and Green, Jason and Haley over at American Lawn Specialist, all of those. And subscribe to their channels if you haven't yet. And yeah, thank y'all. As always, y'all be safe, be kind, be blessed, and we will catch you on the next one. Or at least I will. It might be a weave. My father-in-law's telling me. Take care, y'all.